My heart is where the Hebrew home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the Hebrew home. Hebrew home, Hebrew home. Good morning, Hebrew home. My heart is where the Hebrew home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the Hebrew home.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I'm your host for today, Catherine Farrell. I'm filling in for Olivia Cohen, and we are coming to you live from the Derfter Judaica Museum here at the Hebrew Home. And we have an exciting episode for you today. Today is Friday, July 31st, and the time is 10:32. And today is National Avocado Day. I actually love avocados and try to include them in every salad. Sometimes I just eat them right out of the shell. So what about you? If you like avocados, send us a recipe and we'll share it on the show. Sidebar, I actually really enjoy reading recipes and cookbooks. And sometimes people settle down before bed to read a novel. I actually settle down before bed to read cookbooks. I love going through the recipes. I read them from the start to all the way through to the finish, and usually a few times. I really like to immerse myself in recipes. So I would love to read some of yours. You can pass along any recipes you have to your TAP staff person. You can reach out to Lisa. I know she's big on cooking and baking. Or you can call us at 2813, and that's any extension from the Hebrew Home, 2813, and you can leave us a message. So on to the weather. The weather for today will be a high of 85 degrees with a 50% chance of showers. Saturday's weather will be a high of 87 and partly cloudy. And Sunday will be a high of 86 with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. I actually love thunderstorms in the summertime. So this day in history, in 1964, the U.S. Ranger 7, which was an unmanned lunar probe, was sent to the moon to investigate what the surface of the moon was like in order to prepare for future moon landings later on in the decade. Its cameras began filming the surface 17 minutes before impact and showed that the surface was hospitable for landing. In 2012, swimmer Michael Phelps won his record-breaking 19th Olympic medal after winning the gold as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay team for USA. In 2013, this one is so silly, 2013, but very cool. Scientists in the U.S. have announced that they were able to successfully grow an artificial human ear from animal tissue in a lab. So if you're in the market for a human ear, one can come to you pretty soon. And now on to our birthdays for today and this weekend. Our residents who have birthdays today are Jacqueline P. and Shirley M. Happy birthday to you. Staff for today are Hilario C. from the lab, Alicia R. in Nursing Administration, and Teresita S. in Nursing. Happy birthday to you all. Tomorrow's birthdays, our residents Lilia A. and Claire J. are celebrating their birthday tomorrow, and the staff are Arlene B. in Administration, hi Arlene, Melissa K. in Research, Comfort O. in Nursing, and Angel R. in Nursing Administration. Happy birthday. Sunday, residents Angelo A. and Edgar G. And for our staff Sunday birthdays, Marie E. and Millie P.E., both in nursing. Happy birthday to everyone. Celebrity birthdays, and this is very cool for today. J.K. Rowling is the author of the Harry Potter series. Her birthday is today, so happy birthday. And also Wesley Snipes, so that's also very cool. Not to take away from Wesley. Tomorrow is Jason Momoa's birthday, and Sunday is Mary Louise Parker and director Kevin Smith. Happy birthday, everyone. So now the good part, We find out what we're going to eat today and through the weekend. Our lunch today, it'll be a cheese pizza and Caesar salad with peaches for dessert. Dinner, a vegetarian vegetable soup, Greek meatballs, and yellow rice. And for dessert, chocolate cake. Yum. For tomorrow, Saturday, August 1st, lunch will be beer battered baked fish. Okay, so that's my new tongue twister. Beer battered baked fish with sweet potato and parsleyed cauliflower. Dessert is sponge cake. And for dinner, we have a cream of broccoli soup, California vegetable sandwich, and potato chips. The dessert is strawberry ice cream. Sunday, August 2nd, lunch is a southern fried chicken, seasoned diced potatoes and collard greens, and for dessert, fudge supreme cookies. Sunday's dinner is stracciatella soup, broiled salmon, and orzo with mushrooms. Dessert, fruit cocktail. So we didn't have any viewer mail this week, but please send us your comments, your questions, and we will share them on the show. You can write down your questions and give them to any social services or your TAP staff person, or you can call us and leave a message by dialing, again, the number 2813. So before we move on to our guest segment, I wanted to just announce a few additions to our monthly calendar. First, we're adding a new program on Monday mornings at 11:15 on this channel, the broadcast channel 8, and it's called What's the Story with Kate? I guess I'll let our guests talk a little bit more about that one. And then secondly, on Mondays, beginning in August, we're going to bring back an old favorite. You guys are going to love it. Gil Harrell is coming back for our Hebrew Home University class. I'm so excited to do this for him and for you. He'll be teaching remotely, so it'll be on our streaming channel, Channel 88, which is the same channel that the rebroadcast of this show is shown on. And Gil will be Mondays at 7, Channel 88, and that'll go for 8 weeks. So lastly, also very excited to share that I wanted to let everyone know that next Friday, August 7th, we're going to start another new streaming show, and we're going to be showing theater performances. They're noted on the calendar as Broadway Matinee. It'll be 2 p.m. on Fridays and also on Channel 88. It's going to be a mix of Broadway actors performing solo or recordings of past performances. And check out August 7th's Broadway show. I'm really super excited to share that one with all of you. So lots of exciting new program offerings coming up. Please continue to check your calendars and the monitors on the floors for the most up-to-date programming information. So, my guest today is a member of my team in the Therapeutic Arts and Enrichment Programs Department. Please welcome Kate DelPizzo to the show. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good, good. Glad to have you on. So, how did you find your way to the Hebrew Home, and what is your role here?
So, I came to the Hebrew Home about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, August 3rd, actually, so very close to 4 years ago. Yeah, my 4-year anniversary is coming up. So I had been working as a drama therapist out in Long Island for about 7 years, and then I had my son, and I decided that it would be better for me to stay home with him, and I stayed at home with him until he was about 2 years old. And at that time, I was like, I should probably go back out and look for a job. And Mary Farkas was here at the time as the director, and Mary and I were actually in the same cohort at grad school together.
Oh.
So I reached out to Mary. I knew she was the director here, and I said, hey, are you looking for a drama therapist by any chance? And she was. Which I was very fortunate because I had just decided to start looking for a job again, and it just kind of was the perfect fit. So I came and I started working here, and I've been here ever since. And I love it here. It's a great place to work in. You know, we have a lovely staff that we get to work with every day, and the wonderful residents that we get to serve and do programming for. So, you know, it's been a good fit for the last 4 years. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your story of reaching out to Mary actually reminds me of my own story. when I was director of therapeutic activities in a nursing home in New Jersey, and at the time I was looking to make a shift, and so I too reached out to Mary, and I was asking, hey, do you have any openings, anything coming up? And she did, so that's how I got here too. And I know that you've spoken a little bit about drama therapy before on this show, but I'm wondering if you want to talk a little bit more about maybe how drama therapy is looking now in the pandemic.
Yeah, drama therapy looks a lot different than it did before. I used to have a community program where we would come and we would meet and we work closely together in close proximity. We were working on a show. Now that's very different. We can't obviously congregate in groups at all.
Right.
So doing drama therapy doesn't look the same. I'm predominantly, since the pandemic has started, have been on JR1. So I've been working with residents up on that floor. Something that we do is we do a little bit of group storytelling together. One of the activities that a lot of the residents seem to enjoy is we take a big word, and then from that word we make a lot of smaller words, and then we use that word to create a group story together.
Such a great twist on the word games.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's silly and it's fun, and it's not necessarily what I was doing before, but it's something that we do together and we have a good time. I think the therapy right now is trying to bring out those little moments of joy in people's lives, no matter what way we do it. So yeah, we've been doing that, and it's been pretty fun. We're having a good time up there. I'm happy to do whatever I need to do to find moments of joy in the residents' lives. And sometimes drama therapy is just going into people's rooms and letting them talk and reminisce and just being a sounding board and hearing them and where they're at and what they need to talk about and reflect upon. You do that too.
Yeah, it's kind of the role of the therapist, right? To be able to wear many hats and to serve the residents in whatever way they need to be served in the moment. So it's wonderful. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you said moments of joy. I'm wondering if you feel like sharing how you find moments of joy in your personal life.
Yeah, so I was thinking a lot about this because we're in a difficult time right now, so it's hard to find those moments of joy. But I think it's very important, especially to take care of yourself in a difficult time right now. So I'm very big on holistic living. I do a lot of healthy eating. I also look into a lot of recipes and reading about healthy items and how we can cook differently and make sure that our meals are healthy. I'm really big into that, so I like to try to take care of my body. I'm really into Chinese medicine as well. I do acupressure every single day as a means of decompression and self-care. I used to go to acupuncture, but unfortunately that's not something that is really readily available at this moment.
Right.
And I just find that it's very calming and soothing, and it's a mood elevator too. It definitely helps with mood. And I'm a big reader. I read a lot, as much as I can. I mean, I also have a almost 6-year-old at home, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So I spend a lot of time with family, but I pretty much read every night before I go to bed. It's part of my routine. I do acupressure and read every night before I go to bed, and that helps me decompress and find moments of calm and happiness. And then I feel more available and open to being present for my family when I'm home too, when I have those moments where I can have to myself.
I always think about, on the airplane where they tell you, put your mask on first before you can help the people around you.
Yeah.
And it's really true, especially working in healthcare, that you really do need to take care of yourself so that we can be at our best to serve and help others.
Yeah, it's really important. If I didn't take those moments to myself, I feel like I would be completely depleted. And, especially during these times, as we talked about, it's important for us to be here as helpers and as sounding boards and as people who can provide those moments of joy for the residents here. So I definitely feel that self-care is an extremely important part of that, and make it a continuous effort to keep those routines in my life.
Exactly, yes. How did you get into Chinese acupuncture?
Well, without going into too many details, I had some health concerns that were bothering me, and I appreciate Western medicine in terms of the fact that it does provide cures. It doesn't always find the root cause, which I'm very interested in. I read all about things, and I like to know. Just in my nature, I like to know answers, and sometimes you can't find answers. But in Eastern medicine, it's more about the root cause. And acupuncture is all about how the systems of the body interrelate, and it's not from a Western, put a Band-Aid on it, fix it, medicine, surgery perspective. It's go in, find out what's really causing the system to act the way that it's acting, and then change what you're doing to remedy that, which I find fascinating. So that's how I got into the eating, healthy eating, and cooking, and acupressure and acupuncture, because it deals with the more holistic sense of the body.
And again, I'm thinking back to the therapeutic process, right? And our work as therapists to really investigate and try to get to the root cause of what's going on for our clients and for our residents. So
absolutely, yeah. And it's been helpful, ever since I started all of the eating choices that I make, the acupressure, the acupuncture, I have noticed a shift, and it's a body-mind connection too, because all of these things are not, they're embodied, I'm physically doing things to myself, and I notice the differences.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned your family.
I did.
And I see that we have a picture back here. Do you want to share?
Yes, so I brought a picture, a couple pictures. Oh, thank you. So this is a picture of me, my 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old son, Ben, and my husband, Tom. I think we went on a hike. I live in Westchester County, and there's some beautiful places where you can go and hike. This is the Marshlands Conservatory in Rye, so we have a tendency to go there and hike. It's down by the water, and they have beautiful trails. So this is a picture of us. You can see we've got our masks on, so this was only I think it was last month or so, maybe the month before, where we went hiking together.
I love his hat too.
Yes, the hat. It's a crab hat.
Okay.
So Ben, his favorite animal is a crab. He just loves crustaceans in general, crabs and lobsters. I don't know where it came from, but that is his passion. He loves crabs and lobsters so much to the point that if you go out for seafood, he'll say, "You're not going to get crab and lobster, right?" Yeah, he loves them. So last year I went to the Bahamas, and I found this crab hat. I was like, oh, I need to buy that immediately for Ben. So now whenever he goes out, we're in the sun, I need my hat.
Oh,
Crab hat.
that's sweet.
And then I think we have another picture.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh, okay, so that's Ben, and that is his most prized possession, his bear. His name is Orange Bear, but he goes by many other names too. He's very silly with his nicknames. He'll call him Wishy Bear, he'll call him Orange Bee, he'll call him anything. He makes up a ton of different nicknames every day. But that is his favorite toy. So he's in our backyard in our hammock, and he's just lounging around, hanging out with his bear. The bear has become very important to him, especially during the pandemic, since we can't play with friends or see people as often as possible. So Wishy Bear, Orange Bear is our most prized possession at this moment. So he loves him. Oh yeah, here's my guy.
So sweet. And so how has he been adjusting to the new normal of the moment?
Yeah, I feel like he's doing a really good job for a little guy. He's home with my husband. They have a very strong relationship. My husband Tom is a really involved dad, always been very active in his life. When school closed, Tom was home with him. He did all of the homeschooling because I was here, obviously.
Right.
And they've really formed, they always had a special bond, but they've really formed a really nice connection. And they do everything together. Tom is always there doing stuff for so I feel like because he's had such a strong role model and presence in his life, he's been doing okay. You know, he misses people, he misses the normalcy of being able to play with friends and do whatever we want to do with the drop of a hat. But for the most part, I feel like he's adjusting. You know, kids adjust, they assimilate. It's part of growing up. So I feel like he's doing okay. We'll see what comes in September when school's supposed to start again. That'll be another obstacle that we'll have to.
And just another big unknown, right? This whole pandemic, this whole time period has just been a giant unknown for everyone, and it's been for me a really hard lesson to be able to limit my planning process, just because things are going to shift and things are going to change, and to really focus more on right now and the things that I can do and change right now.
Yeah, that's hard too. I'm a planner.
Really hard.
I like to plan things. I like to know what's about to come. That's always been kind of me, but this pandemic, if anything, it's taught you that you just have to go with the flow. There's nothing certain right now. So yeah, it's definitely a learning experience.
For sure. And so I wanted to sort of redirect us back a little bit to talk about your new broadcast program. As, you know, speaking of things that have changed in the pandemic, this whole process has changed since the pandemic. And so we're really excited to have you on Mondays at 11:15. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so, you know, back when everything started, just talking about how we can really provide things that the residents identify as important to them in their day-to-day activities that may be missing from their lives. And reading was something that a lot of the residents talked about. You know, I wish that I could gain access to books, but the books by mail program is closed, and the library isn't as easily accessible, and you know, there's no programs to go to. I wish that I had some more reading supplies, and we've obviously done our best at getting as much as possible for the residents. But I thought that it might be nice if we had a Read Aloud program, just something where we could find books of interest that residents may enjoy and just read aloud, and you know, offer an opportunity for them to learn about a variety of different areas, or give me ideas for what they wanted to read. But so for the first Read Aloud, What's the Story? I am a theater person, as most people here know, and I found a book, this book that I brought with me right here, that I'll be reading aloud on Monday. It's called Homework, a memoir of my Hollywood years, and it's written by Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews is somebody who I've talked about with a lot of people just in general, who you know, would go to theater and appreciated theater of the 1950s and 60s. Obviously, she was very involved, and you know, remains a very active presence. Obviously, she's not able to sing anymore, but she's still somebody that everybody knows. So I thought it would be an interesting book to read aloud for the residents. I started reading it. It's pretty interesting. I've already learned a lot about Julie Andrews that I didn't know, and hopefully this will be something that the residents will appreciate. So start that on Monday.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this program too, also because all of this, you know, the residents get to experience and immerse themselves into a story, right? And in some cases a biography or whatever you choose, but also because the residents here have requested so many times a group like this, like a book club or a book reading club. And so this is as close as we're going to be able to get in pandemic times.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be, you know, the dream would be to get a copy for everybody, so we could all read it, but you know, that's not necessarily the reality right now, so this is a good start.
Yeah.
And, you know, people can order it if they want to order it, if they want to read along, if they have the resources to do so.
Right.
They're welcome to do it.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Kate. I have a little surprise question for you. Sorry.
Sure.
And it's just something that I thought of, you know, I was just wondering if you have any secret talents.
Oh God. Do I have any secret talents? I don't know. God, I wish my husband was here because he definitely has secret talents. He can do a lot of different things. I used to be really good at accents. Like, you used to tell me to do an accent, and I used to be able to do it like that, but I feel like I've lost that skill. I've been reading aloud to my son. We've been reading Roald Dahl books. We were reading James and the Giant Peach.
Love it.
And all the different bugs I was trying to give different voices to, and I was trying to make them have different accents. And along the way, I was like, oh man, I can't do a French accent anymore. I can't do an Irish accent anymore. I used to be able to do them really well. Well, I'll tell you one thing. So if you were to try to do an Irish accent, the Irish accent is to the front of your mouth, and then if you were to flip that to a Scottish accent, you would bring that to the back of your mouth. So let me try to say something in an Irish accent. You put me on the spot.
I know, sorry.
So I used to have a good friend when I was in grade school, and her mother was from Ireland, and she had this beautiful Irish accent. But one thing she always used to say was, "What are you doing?" Like, that was her thing. She'd walk into the room, and we'd be in there doing something that we weren't supposed to do, and she'd be like, "Oh, girls, what are you doing?" And it would be like that. And then if you were to bring that, so that's all the way up in front of your mouth. When you're learning accents, you place them in different parts of your mouth. So Irish accent is in the front of your mouth. And then if you were to do that in Scottish, you bring it to the back of your mouth. So you hear the difference. Yeah. It's back here, whereas Irish is up front. Well, no, that was Scottish again. And it's hard to go back and forth. But that was one thing that I used to be really good at.
Very cool.
Accents. My hidden talent. Don't ask me to do it on cue.
Okay. Well, next time you're on the show.
I'll practice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks again, Kate, so much. We're looking forward to your new group on Monday. And
I'm excited. Yay.
So everyone, that's our show for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you missed any part of this broadcast, we'll show it again tonight at 6:30 on channel 88, our streaming channel. Please reach out again. Let us know your thoughts or questions about the show. The number, the extension, you can leave a voicemail, is 2813. You can, of course, reach out to any TAP staff member on the floors. I'm going to close today with an inspirational quote from Will Rogers. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Hebrew home, good morning, Hebrew home. My heart is where the Hebrew home